Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for Season 2 of the Netflix show, The Witcher. Now for those of you who know me, know my content, know my channel at all, will know that I'm actually a big fan of The Witcher. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is my favourite game of all time. So I was really excited for the first season of The Witcher when it was announced. And then when they cast Henry Cavill, like many, I had my doubts, but he put those doubts to rest. And generally speaking, I had a really good time with the first season of The Witcher. It wasn't without its faults. I think the time jumps and the time shifting were very confusing and didn't help the first season. But ultimately, I think that was the biggest criticism that I could give it. Now, Season 2 of The Witcher essentially carries on where Season 1 ended. Yennefer is assumed dead after what happened at that huge battle at the end of the first season. And she's assumed dead by everybody, including Geralt, and so he's kind of heartbroken at the beginning of this season. But she is actually alive, and she's been taken captive, which ultimately leads her to make a deal with a witch in some woods, because she's lost all her powers after what happened in the first season at the end, and she's desperate to get her powers back. So this witch in the woods makes her a deal, and says, if you bring Ciri to this location, or to me, then you will get your powers back. So Yennefer agrees. Now that is obviously, you think is going to bring her in conflict with Geralt later in this season, because Geralt is now Ciri's protector. We see this in the first season. And to keep her safe, he figures he's got to kind of keep her safe. So he takes her to Kaer Morhen. Now Kaer Morhen is like a sanctuary for witches, where witches tend to go during the winter months to rest, recuperate, heal wounds and things like that. And it's run by Vesemir. Now Vesemir is a veteran witcher who trained many of the witches, including Geralt. So when Geralt gets there with Ciri, they kind of take her under their wing, train her, keep her safe, things like that. But Geralt realises that that's not going to last, because she's got gifts, she's got elder blood, and the world suddenly slowly comes to realise that Ciri exists and everybody wants a piece of her. So Geralt has really got his hands full keeping her safe in Season 2. So I think The Witcher Season 2, I think, rights some of the wrongs that people gave it some criticisms for in the first season. Certainly in regards to the time jumping, there's none of that this time around. It's a much more linear, easier to follow experience, thankfully. Once again, I think Henry Cavill does a brilliant job here as Geralt. He loves this franchise, and he's put a lot of time and effort into developing this character and trying to be respectful to the books and the people that like the games as well, including himself. They fleshed Geralt out a little bit more in this season as well. You get to see more of his powers, whereas his powers were hinted at in the first season, but you didn't really see an awful lot of them in play. I can't remember. I think we saw one of them. Was it Ard? I'm not sure. This time round, you get to experience I think pretty much all his powers this time round. All his signs and things like that, which I thought was really cool. He's brilliant in the action sequences. Of course he is. He's Henry Cavill. I mean, he just knocks them out of the park, and there are plenty to enjoy here this time round. You get to see more battles with him and monsters this time round as well. There's a lot of monsters for him to battle in this season, and some of them are new. And by that I mean there's a monolith destroyed at the end of the first season, and as a result of that, there are some new breeds of monsters coming through this time that Geralt has to face, which I thought was really cool, and they all looked really interesting. The ones that certainly I recognised anyway. So yeah, he definitely gets to show off his abilities here again, once again, Geralt, which is absolutely brilliant. I did have concerns in the first season that they'd miscast Ciri, and I was a little bit worried about that, and then those worries are kind of put to rest this time around. I thought the relationship between Geralt and Ciri was really good this season. It was like a father-daughter relationship, as it should be, and her character was really fleshed out this time round. She, she wants so much to train and be a witcher, and learn more about herself and all this kind of stuff. And you get to see that, you get to see her being a bit of a rebel as well, all this kind of stuff, and experiment with her powers. I thought they did well with the casting as well. I thought Vesemir was well cast in this, as the veteran Witcher, the one that trained Geralt. I thought that was great. It was lovely to see so much of Kaer Morhen, which is a big part of the Witcher. We see more of Triss this time around as well, Triss Merigold. The first season, I thought I was disappointed with how Triss was portrayed. She gets more to do this time around, but I think it's fair to say early on in season 2 she gets quite a lot to do, and then her character kind of fades out by the end, which was disappointing to see. The biggest criticism I can give this show, and it was kind of the similar criticism I had in the first one, it's nothing to do with time jumps. It's more to do with the politics of the show. I don't really get it, and this is me that's played the game, and I understand it better in the games. It doesn't feel like these politics are easy to follow and understand. You just kind of get names of these places and different rulers and where they all fit in, and you've got people in the background kind of stabbing each other in the back, but you don't know who they are and why they're doing it. It's not brilliant at explaining all that, so I'm hopeful in season 3 that they will expand on that a little bit more, and we can maybe understand the politics a little bit better. Maybe it's just me, I just struggle to follow it a little bit in this show. When they simplify it down a little bit, it's much more enjoyable. I think the show, when they focus too much on the politics, it gets a bit foggy for me. But a really enjoyable time I've had with season 3. I thought they've done a really good job, and they even hint at the end of season 2 of the Wild Hunt. So hopefully in season 3 we are going to see a lot more of the Wild Hunt, which I'm really excited about. But a really good season. I enjoyed my time with it. I think fans of the first season will be very impressed. And those who had some criticism of the first season, they've certainly put a lot of them criticisms to rest as well. So I think you'll enjoy it too. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to give this one an 8.5 out of 10 because I think that's the same score I give first season as well. I did enjoy it, and I'm very much looking forward to more. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very soon.